RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
And the Explorers, who have started 0-2 with 2 road losses to get this 2010 season underway, are glad to be home. It's always great to get onto the home turf and play in front of your home fans, Coach.
It always was, and this always was a bugaboo for a lot of the visiting teams that come in here, especially if they haven't been here before. And I can't recollect when Hillsboro was last year, but it had to be 5 or 6 years ago, so it's a whole new atmosphere for them.
Marquette comes in, as I said, 0-2. Hillsboro 1-1 on this early season. And the Hilltoppers in Week 1 lost 19-14 to Southwestern, but last week rallied with a victory over the Roxana Shells by a margin of 10-6. The Explorers in Week 1 played the Carlinville Cavaliers tight until late in the game. The Cavaliers went on to a 25-7 victory. And then last week, Marquette made the long trip down to Pana, and the Panthers prevailed there 28-8. The Explorers are young, with only 2 seniors on the squad and young players in most of their skill positions, so they'll hope to improve from week to week as this season goes along. But if you want to take a look at playoff possibilities, Marquette would need 5 wins to think about the playoffs here in the 2010 season, and that means they'd have to win 5 of the next 7, but the good news is 5 of the next 7 are here at home, so they'd like to come out and make a good showing before the home fans. Marquette has won the toss. They have elected to receive and back deep to accept this opening kickoff. LaShawn Wheaton, a sophomore, along with, it looks like back there, John Piper. He too is a sophomore, so they stand back at about their own 7-yard line, awaiting this kick from the Hilltoppers, and we are underway. It's a high short kick, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 20-yard line, and the Explorers will start with very good field position, and that's a case, I think, where the Hilltoppers may have feared some speed back there for Marquette, so they tried to clunk it short and made the mistake of kicking it out of bounds, and the Explorers will start 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
I think the kid just missed it. So yeah.
Well, that could be too. That could be too. And so the first penalty of the ball game right there on the opening kickoff, and the Explorer offense takes the field led by Dalton Holm, the junior quarterback. He got a few starts last year when Keenan Eberlin was injured, now starting for the 3rd time here in the 2010 season. The Explorers come out in that familiar double wing formation, Piper wide to the left side, Holm under center, puts a man in motion to the right side, turns and gives it to his foot. Oh, the ball is fumbled, a big pile up, and I think Holm tried to take it back from the fullback. They lost the football, and the Hilltoppers have recovered. So a big mistake for the Explorers right off the bat.
Well, that's exactly what it looked like, is that the Holm tried to pull it back out, and it just bounced right flat on the ground.
And so the Hilltoppers with an opportunity here, 1st and 10 at the Marquette 35-yard line. And on their first play from scrimmage after the Marquette turnover, that's stacked high, and here's the give to the 3rd man through the hole, and a gain of about 6 on that carry. And we'll try to pick up who the ball carrier is.
Brett Greenwell made the tackle.
It was Scott Etling, the ball carrier. I'm going to have to apologize in advance, but it was a 6-yard pickup. They've got orange on white, and I can't see that from this far away. So we'll just do our best. Now they run the option to the left side, and the quarterback pitches it just as he went to the ground, and it finally rolls out of bounds as they try to run that to the left side. I'm not so sure the quarterback, Dalton Downs, didn't have a knee down before he pitched that ball, but nonetheless, he did pitch it. It came loose, and it turns into a loss of 3 and brings about 3rd and 7.
It was a good defensive job by number 81, Avery Johnson, who forced a bad pitch.
And so now it's 3rd and 7 for the Hilltoppers. The quarterback, Dalton Downs, under center at the Explorer 32-yard line. Long count. Stacked eye behind him, double tight, and they run the option to the right side. Downs keeps it himself. Downs has first down yardage and then some, all the way down to the Explorer 20-yard line. A gain of 12 on that carry for Dalton Downs. He just found a seam to the right side as he ran the option and tiptoed his way through the Marquette defense for that gain of 12 and the first down of the night.
Well, usually with the quarterback keeper, it's the defensive end who's responsible for that, and it looked like somebody pulled and blocked him.
So 1st and 10 Hilltoppers at the Marquette 20-yard line following a Marquette turnover on the first play of the game. Downs turns, gives it to, keeps it himself out to the left side. He's got one man to beat. He's at the 5 and tackled from behind by the Explorers, Dalton Halm, as Downs tried to put a move on him, but nonetheless, a good gain on the play, a gain of 16 for Downs, and 1st and goal Hilltoppers at the Marquette 4. So Dalton Downs, 3 carries for 25 yards. And on 1st and goal at the Explorer 4-yard line. He takes the snap, turns, gives it to the second man through. He's stacked up shy of the goal line, but still a nice gain on that carry. And it appeared it was Luke Cerruti, and Cerruti picked up 3 down to the 1. 2nd and goal. Hilltoppers at the Explorer 1-yard line. They send a receiver wide to the right side. The tight end is to the left on 2nd and goal at the 1. Downs under center. Turns, gives it to, this time, the 3rd man through in that stacked eye. That was Etling, and Etling is stacked up for a loss on the play. All the way back to the 3-yard line, a loss of 2, as that time the Explorer defensive front really clogged things up. And so now a critical play here. 3rd and goal for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 3-yard line. This possession started at the Marquette 35. Now they go to the traditional I formation. Downs takes the snap, scoots out to his left, wants to run the option. He takes it down to the 1-yard line where he's stacked up. There was a hole there and it closed up quickly, and now it's 4th and goal for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 1. And it appears they'll leave the offense on the field.
I would anticipate another quarterback keeper, Sam. I think Downs is their load.
Dalton Downs. We've got 2 quarterbacks with the first name Dalton here tonight. Downs under center. 4th and goal at the 1. He takes the snap, sprints out to his left. He's going to be hit at the goal line and stacked up and kept out of the end zone. I thought he was just going to step in, and out of nowhere, here came the Explorers' number 20, Tyler Moore. He hit him and kept him from getting into the goal line at about the 1-foot line. What a play by Tyler Moore.
Mary?
What's that?
Mary?
No, not Mary Tyler Moore. 1st and 10 for the Explorers at their own 1-yard line. What a defensive stand there. It was 1st and goal at the 4, 2nd and goal at the 1, and they never did get in. Now, here is the give right up the middle. I believe that's the fullback, Derek Sterrett, and he pounds his way out to the 5-yard line, maybe the 6. A gain of 5 on that carry for Sterrett.
Sterrett's a load. He's 6'5", 215. A perfect, well, he could have been a little bit shorter, but he's a heck of a basketball player, too.
You mean he could have been shorter to be a traditional fullback?
Fullback,
yeah.
yes.
Well, you can't have everything. Second and 5 for the Explorers at the 6. They put a man in motion to the left side, and they run the counter, coming back again. This time, Derek Sterrett right up the middle for a first down, out across the 10 to the 12-yard line, a gain of 7. So Sterrett gains of 5 and 7 for the Explorers' first down of the night. Dalton Holm, the junior quarterback, leads his team to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 13-yard line were scoreless, approaching the midway mark of the first quarter. Here is, this time, the option to the left side, and they pitch it back to Tyler Moore. He puts on a move at the 15, out across the 20, to the 25, to the 30-yard line. A flag is thrown late, and this is going to cost the Explorers. What would have been a gainer out to the 30 is going to come back with a late flag. But that was a dandy move by Tyler Moore after he took that pitch running to his left from Dalton Holm at the 15-yard line. He just left a Hilltopper in the dust, and here's a hold against the Explorers. The flag at the 23, so they'll march it back to the 13-yard line. And it'll be 1st and maybe 11, 1st and 10 for the Explorers right there. So in essence, it's like that play never happened. But it cost him a 17-yard gainer. Well, those penalties will kill you. Well, 1st and 9, as it'll turn into a 1-yard pickup there for Tyler Moore. And then the penalty yardage. And the Explorers send a receiver wide to the right side. That's Jack Miller. John Piper wide left. Double wing formation. And here's the give on the counter to Moore. Coming to the near side of the field. Tyler Moore out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30, all the way out to the 34-yard line. And a gain of 20 on that carry for Tyler Moore on that wing counter. And another first down for the Explorers.
Exceptional block out here. I forgot I didn't catch the number on the wideout over here. He stalked that cornerback and just kept him tied up. I think that's Michael Ford.
1st and 10 Explorers from their own 33-yard line. A receiver wide to the right side, double wing formation. And now, as the Explorers put a man in motion, Hillsboro jumps across the line of scrimmage, and that should be a free 5 for the Explorers. It will be. That's the first penalty of the night, other than on the opening kickoff, for Hillsboro. And 1st and 10 will now become 1st and 5 out at the 38-yard line. Jack Miller wide right. John Piper wide left. Sterrett the fullbacks, Moore and Ford the wingbacks, and now it's the quarterback sneak by Dalton Holm, as there was a wide split there, and he just took off with the snap and picks up about 4 on the carry. It's going to bring about 2nd and 1. That's the first carry of the night for Holm. So Marquette took the opening kickoff on their first play from scrimmage, turned it over. Hillsboro drove from the 35 to the 1, but couldn't get in on 4th and 1. And this drive for Marquette started at their own 1-yard line. They're out to the 42. It's 2nd and 1. A man in motion to the left side, and back to throw is Holm. Going deep down the left side for Piper, and he overthrows him by about 5 yards all the way down at the 25 of the Hilltoppers. Now it's going to be 3rd and 1. They just sent Piper on a fly. John Piper is a 5'10", 135-pound sophomore playing wideout.
He was well covered. I didn't, even though it was close, I don't think he could have completed it.
Now 3rd and 1, Explorers from their own 42. Holm under center. Turns, gives it to Moore. Moore down the left sideline, across midfield, down to the 46 of the Hilltoppers as they ran that jet play. And that becomes a gain of 12 and another first down for Marquette, their third of this drive. Tyler Moore, 3 carries for 43 yards. Moore is a 6', 175-pound junior. Receivers left and right for Marquette, 1st and 10 at the 46 of the Hilltoppers. Ford in motion to the right side. They pitch it to him. A flag is thrown. Ford took it down inside the 40 to about the 39, but that's going to be another hold against Marquette, and we'll bring that play back. Well, they overcame the first holding call, and now this is going to dig a bigger hole this time. Holding against the Explorers.
I think it was Hughes who was the tackle that pulled out there to try to hook the defensive end, and he didn't have much success, so we held him.
Well, when you start a drive at your own 1, and you have to go 99 yards to score a touchdown, it doesn't help to throw 10-yard holding penalties in there and make the task even taller. And now Marquette faces 1st and 19, just shy of their own 45-yard line. Miller wide right, Piper wide left. Double wing formation. Halm puts a man in motion to the right side, fakes the pitch. Now they try to set up the screen to the left, but Hillsboro has that infiltrated. Now Halm trying to get out to the left side, and Halm is going to stay on his feet at the 35, out to the 40 to the 41-yard line, but it ends up being a loss of about 5 on the play. And you were right, he should have thrown it away.
Should have thrown it away.
It could have been a lot worse than a 5-yard loss, as he slipped a tackler all the way back at the 30-yard line and made his way out to the 41. Now it's 2nd and 24 for the Explorers. Second and 20-something, 22 maybe. From their own 41-yard line. Receivers left and right. A man in motion to the left side. They pitch it back to Moore. Running room to the left side. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and pounds his way out to the 45-yard line. A gain of maybe 4 on that carry for Tyler Moore. And brings about 3rd and long for the Explorers. We'll call it 3rd and 19. We're down to 4:21 remaining here in the first quarter. Marquette and Hillsboro scoreless. Hillsboro was stopped at the 1-yard line on their first possession. So 3rd and 19 for the Explorers. And back to throw is Halm. He's got some time. Now feeling pressure. Now he'll take off across midfield to the 45, to the 40. And he's going to be about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down. And let's see what the Explorers will do just inside the 40 of the Hilltoppers, facing 4th and 3. So a 16-yard pickup for Halm. And they keep the offense on the field, facing 4th and 3 at the 44 of the Hilltoppers. They send Miller wide to the right side, Piper wide left. Double wing formation behind Halm on the 4th down play. Halm puts a man in motion to the left side and keeps it himself, runs the option to the left side, steps up, he's got the first down and then some, inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line.
Halm did an exceptional job of running that option. He gave him a little juke step to the outside, caused that corner to try to collapse on the pitchback, and he just Halm just cut inside for the field for the first down.
A gain of 7 on that carry. The 4th first down of the night for the Explorers. They've overcome 2 holding penalties on this initial possession, or on this current possession. their second possession of the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 33. Now a quick toss out to the left side. That's Michael Ford, and Ford takes it inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. It appeared to be a pass, but it was a backward pass, so in effect a lateral. That makes it a running play and a gain of 6 on that carry for Michael Ford, his first of the night. His first that counted. He had a run earlier called back, a nice run called back on a holding call. 2nd down and 4, Marquette. Now at the 28 of the Hilltoppers. Miller wide right, Piper wide left, double wing formation. On the 2nd down play. Here's a give right up the middle. Sterrett, big hole inside the 15, down to about the 11-yard line for Derek Sterrett. A gain of 16 on that carry and another first down. So they went back to the fullback and it paid off. Derek Sterrett, 3 carries for 28 yards from the fullback position. 1st and 10 Explorers at the Hilltopper 11-yard line. This drive started for Marquette at their own 1. Receivers left and right. Ford in motion to the right side. This time Halm runs the option to the right side, keeps it himself inside the 10, inside the 5, down to about that 2-yard line. It's going to bring about 2nd and short on after a gain of 9 by Dalton Halm. Well, Halm is really elusive, especially once he breaks that line of scrimmage. He can find a seam and find a way to slide through it. 2nd and 1 for the Explorers at the 2 of the Hilltoppers. Miller wide right, Piper wide left. Halm under center, sets the team on the 2nd down play. A man in motion to the left side. Here is the give to Sterrett, the fullback. He stacked up shy of the goal line, but he picked up a yard and has the first down. The 6th of this possession for the Explorers, and it's 1st and goal at the 1. So the Explorers have gone from the 1 to the 1. This drive, 98 yards so far. Now they have to do what Hillsboro couldn't do, and that is take it into the end zone. 1st and goal, just outside the goal line. Receivers left and right. Halm on the quarterback sneak, stacked up. 2nd effort, and he is in for the touchdown. Dalton Halm, the 1-yard touchdown plunge, and Marquette breaks on top with 1:06 remaining here in the first quarter. A 99-yard touchdown drive. So Halm, his 6th carry of the night, and he didn't have it initially. It was only his 2nd effort that actually took him across the goal line. So what do you think about that, Coach? A 99-yard drive. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, that was impressive.
And along the way, they overcame 2 holding penalties. Now the 2-point conversion attempt. They toss it out to Ford to the left side. He slips 1 tackle, but he is wrapped up at the 5-yard line and brought down, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails. 1:06 remaining here in the first quarter. The score, Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
What a turn of events for the Explorers after fumbling on the first play from scrimmage, turning the ball over to Hillsboro. They stopped the Hilltoppers at the 1 on 4th and goal. And then the Explorers proceed to put together a 99-yard touchdown drive. And with 1:06 remaining here, the Explorers lead it 6-0, and now they kick it away to the Hilltoppers, who return from the 15 out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30-yard line. goes the return man. That was Spencer Renfro. And the Hilltoppers will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
And it was Eric Hughes who was right down the middle, made the stop.
Well, the Explorers, as we said, a 99-yard touchdown drive. But they didn't help themselves. They had 2 holding penalties that they had to overcome along the way as well. So that makes that drive even more impressive. 1st and 10 Hilltoppers from their own 30. That's stacked high, and here is the give to the tailback. That's Etling, and Etling is stacked up after a 1-yard pickup. There to hit him was Derek Sterrett. Etling's 3rd carry of the night, 3 carries for only 5 yards. 2nd and 9 for the Hilltoppers as we're now inside of 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. The Hilltoppers this time send a receiver wide to the left side. They put a wing to the left. And Downs turns, keeps it himself, rolls to his left. Looking downfield, the left-handed thrower has a man wide open at the Explorer 30, and the catch is made. All the way down to the Explorer 26-yard line. Downs had a receiver wide open. Making the reception was 85 Evan Malloy. And that was a big gainer. 44 yards on the play.
Halm was the safety. He never got there. That was his cover.
Now here's the give to Etling. Oh, and he is hammered. He is hammered by Derek Sterrett, who just buried the running back. And Etling said, did anybody get the number of that truck? Still, he gained 2 yards, but they were the toughest 2 he's ever gained. And that's the end of the first quarter. The score, Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Got to the right side, and up the right sideline, a flag is thrown, and an apparent touchdown is going to come back as Hillsboro pitched it back to the running back who took out to the right side, but there are 2 flags on the field. And at the very worst, it's going to be offsetting penalties, but it could be that both are against the Hilltoppers. 1 penalty flag lying at about the 17th. So an apparent touchdown run, I believe, is going to be called back, and that is especially apparent as they talk things over with Dalton Halm, the Explorer captain. And here comes the indication from the referee. Holding against the Hilltoppers. And an illegal block in the back against the Hilltoppers. And so they will walk it off. And the 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul will make it 2nd and 11 for the Hilltoppers. So after the Explorers picked up 2 holding calls on that previous drive, which resulted in a touchdown nonetheless, now the Hilltoppers have a touchdown taken off the board by a holding call, and they face 2nd and 11 at the Marquette 28-yard line. And here's the pitch back and trying to sweep the left side. Blockers out in front. Another flag is thrown. And the running back is thrown out of bounds inside the 20 down at the 17-yard line. But I think the Hilltoppers are guilty once again of an illegal block. That time it was Cerruti on the carry. And this time the flag lying at about the 21-yard line. So, a holding call against Hillsboro. They'll walk off 10 from the spot of the foul and move the football back to the 30-yard line. And we'll replay second down once again. They'll set it down at the 31. And it's going to be 2nd and 14. So it was 2nd and 8. They appeared to score a touchdown. That was called back on a hold. Then it was 2nd and 11. It looked like they had a first down. That's called back, and now it's 2nd and 14. And now the Explorers need to figure out a way to stop them without the help of a penalty. The line of scrimmage, the 31. Receivers left and right, a man in motion to the right side. And here is the pitch back, and Cerruti has all kinds of running room inside the 30 at the 25 down to the 22-yard line. No flags this time, and
There should have been one.
Gain of 9 on that carry for Luke Cerruti. Brings about 3rd and 5. What'd you see? Somebody being held again?
Well, the left corner, that lead blocking, that comes out there, he hooked him.
So now, 3rd and we'll call it 5 for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 23-yard line. This time they go to that power I. That stacked eye, that triple I, and here they run the option to the left side. Now he's going to throw. He's got a man wide open in the end zone, but Tyler Moore gets back at the last moment and breaks it up. Moore was beaten, and the only reason that wasn't a touchdown was because the quarterback, Dalton Towns, threw a great big old lollipop. If he'd have thrown that Moore on a line, there's no way Moore would have gotten back.
Well, it was one of those situations where his eyes got big. It was that wide open.
So now 4th and 5 for Hillsboro at the Marquette 23-yard line. That stacked eye with a receiver wide to the left side. Downs back to throw, rolling to his right. Now he's going to take off and run with it. He is hit and brought down shy of the first down. Brought down at about the 20-yard line. And the Explorer offense will take over once again as the defense holds. It bent, but it didn't break. And so with 10:37 remaining here in the second quarter, the score, Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
Sam Stem along with John Rogers back at Public School Stadium in Alton. And on the first down play, here is Dalton Holm keeping himself, trying to find some running room to the right side. He sheds one tackler at the 20, but then a host of Hilltoppers are there to bring him down after about a 2-yard gain. And who was it that made the stop on the defensive play? You say it was for Marquette, Sean Etley?
Yes.
So after the gain of 2 on that carry for Dalton Holm now 7 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. And 2nd and 8 for the Explorers from their own 22. Marquette looking for its first victory of the season. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Moore in motion to the left side. They give it to Sterrett, the fullback, and he pounds his way forward out across the 25. Not quite to the 26-yard line. A gain of about 3 on that carry will bring about 3rd and 5. I didn't see the Explorer game last week, but in week 1, they didn't use the fullback very much at all. And so far tonight, Sterrett has carried 5 times for 32 yards.
Well, if you run that offense, you need to set them up with a fullback. You run him until they collapse on him.
3rd and 5, Explorers from their own 25-yard line. Ford in motion to the right side. They pitch it to Ford. He's got a couple of men to beat. He can't as he takes it out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. A gain of only 1 brings about 4th and 4. And Ford really never had a chance. He tried to take it wide, but the defensive end was out there to seal it off. And as he tried to cut it back up inside, there were too many Hilltoppers sealing off. And for the first time tonight, the Explorers back in punt formation. Dalton Halm stands back at his own 15-yard line awaiting the snap. He gets a good snap. Lots of pressure. He gets the kick away. And the Hilltoppers will return from their own 42 out across the 45 is Etling to about the 47-yard line. And Hillsboro will start with good field position from their own 47-yard line, trailing 6-0. We're down to 8:17 remaining here in the second quarter. Halm was under heavy pressure and got the kick away safely.
John Piper, who was down, and was the wide out to the left side on that punt coverage team that came down and made the tackle.
Well, they put the football down at the 46, 1st and 10. Hilltoppers right there. A receiver wide to the left side, Dalton Downs. The southpaw quarterback keeps it himself, running up the right side, then cuts it back up the middle, crosses midfield, and takes it all the way down to the Marquette 46-yard line. A gain of 8 on that carry for the quarterback.
John Piper made the tackle.
Dalton Downs, 5'9", 170. A junior. 2nd and 2, Hillsboro at the Marquette 46. They put a man in motion to the left side as this time they run out of the double wing and they run the option to the right side. And Downs slips one tackle, but then he is buried back there by number 77, A.J. Lipka. I don't know who Downs got away from, but Lipka was there to clean. Lipka was luckily there, though, for Cook's sake, to clean up. And that ends up being a loss of 5 on the play and brings about 3rd and 7. Well, they tried a little misdirection there as they faked the ball to the left and then tried to run the option to the right, and neither Cook nor Lipka were fooled. A man in motion to the left side on 3rd and 7. Here is the give right up the middle. That's the fullback. That's Cerruti. And Cerruti's going to be very close to a first down as he takes it down inside the Marquette 45 to the 44-yard line. And it is a first down. A gain of 8 on that carry. Well, yeah, they finally do signal first down. So 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers. That's their first down of the night. We're down to 6:45 and counting remaining here in the second quarter. A receiver wide to the left side. Here is the give right up the middle. It's Cerruti, and Cerruti is stacked up after a short gain. Picks up 2, maybe 3 on that carry. We'll call it a gain of 2. Cerruti 4 carries for 22 yards. Marquette leading 6-0 as we approach the midway mark of the second quarter. It was a 99-yard touchdown drive for the Explorers there in the first quarter. 2nd and A long 7, a short 8. Man in motion to the left side. Downs, turns, again, gives it to his fullback. That's Cerruti. And Cerruti takes it inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 4 on that carry. Almost 5. And so now 3rd and short for the Hilltoppers. 3rd and 3. Just outside the Marquette 36-yard line. Hillsboro, white jerseys, black pants, black helmets with orange numbering. Now they go back to that triple I, that stacked I, and give it to the second man through. That's Cerruti. He breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He picked up 7 on that carry and another first down for the Hilltoppers. Luke Cerruti, 6 carries for 33 yards. And doing most of the heavy lifting on this drive. They stopped the clock at 5:10 remaining in the half to move the sticks. Now they roll it. A receiver wide to the right side, a tight end to the left. The stacked I behind Dalton Downs, and this is the give to the third man through. That's Etling, Scott Etling. And Etling is stacked up. Derek Sterrett along with Tyler Moore. And Etling on the carry, picked up only a yard. Second down and 9, and now a timeout on the field. Timeout called by the Explorers. He comes with 4:36 remaining here in the first half. The score, Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Marquette called a defensive timeout there, maybe just to give the defense a blow, as while it's not particularly warm tonight, it is humid. And
well, Derek Sterrett got hurt. He come hobbling off the field, and I think that's why they called the timeout.
And he's going back out there now, so that very may well have been the reason to give him a chance to get his bearings back and get him back out onto the field. 2nd and 9, Hillsboro at the Marquette 27-yard line. A wing to the right, backs in the eye behind Downs, who takes the snap and runs the option out to the right side. Downs keeps it himself, cuts it upfield, and he is just buried by Derek Sterrett, and that's why they wanted to make sure he was back out there on the field. And what looked like a promising play for Downs turns into a short gain, a gain of only a yard, and now it's 3rd and 8.
Well, that's what happens when you string out that option too long. Those people from inside will just come in and kick your clock.
And Downs got his ticked right there. Receiver to the right side, double wing formation. A man in motion to the left side, and here's the give to Cerruti right up the middle, and he's stacked up as he takes it inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. A gain of 2 on that carry for Cerruti. And now the Explorers, who have killed 2 Hillsboro drives with 4th down stops, have an opportunity to do it again right here. 4th and a long 4 for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 24-yard line. The clock rolling with 3:30 remaining, and now Hillsboro wants a timeout. 3:31 remaining in the first half. It's Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Everybody's saying buy American, but not me. I just want you to come drive American. Come out today and see for yourself. No one has a more impressive selection of vehicles than Ford. Whether it's a Focus, Fusion, Escape, Edge, F-150, or any other Ford product, no one can beat Ford's quality. Not Toyota, not Honda, not anybody.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years, just off Route 3 or Highway 67 in Alton, or at RobertsMotors.com.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At Olin Community Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they have made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with Olin Community Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.olincreditunion.org.
Well, the Hillsboro Hilltoppers back in the first quarter on their first possession were stopped on 4th and 1 at the 1 yard line. 4th and goal at the 1 yard line. Another drive ended deep in Marquette territory on 4th down, and now it's 4th and 4 at the Marquette 24. A man in motion to the left side. They want to throw out to the left, and now Downs pulls it down and tries to take off himself, and he is stacked up for a loss on the play. Well, he wanted to throw a quick slant, and apparently the Explorers had it covered because Downs pulled it down and then decided, well, I'll just try and run with it. But the Marquette interior had nothing, would have none of that, as they threw Downs for a 1 yard loss, and the Explorers take over on Downs. First and 10 Explorers from their own 25, now with just 3:24 remaining in the half. Marquette on 3 possessions, turned the ball over, put together a 99-yard touchdown drive, and then had to punt on their third possession. Now a quick pass out to the left side, intended for John Piper. There was contact, but the ball was well over Piper's head. I don't think even without the contact he'd have had any chance of catching that. Piper is listed at all of 5'10", which means he's what, probably about 5'7"? Why do you coaches do that? You never did that, did you?
No, never did.
You got the tape measure out yourself and made sure they were all accurate, right?
That's right.
2nd and 10 Explorers from their own 25. A man in motion to the right side, and here is the give to the fullback. That's Derek Sterrett. He crosses the 30 and takes it out to about the 32-yard line. A nice gain on that carry. A gain of 7, and it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Explorers. Sterrett now 6 carries for 39 yards. 3rd and 3 Explorers from their own 32-yard line. And here's the give again. It's this time Dalton kept it himself, and I wish he'd have given it to Sterrett because there was a huge hole there. But Holm pulled it back, and he was stacked up for a gain of maybe a yard at best. And now they stop the clock. Timeout Hillsboro, because Marquette now will be forced into a punting situation with 2:33 remaining till halftime. The score, Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
you don't know Jack Schmidt
in Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got Thorpe, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Yeah! Woo!
So the Explorers facing 4th and 2 from their own 33-yard line will send Dalton Holm back in punt formation. And the Hilltopper return men standing back at their own 32. Now Marquette wants a timeout. Well, this is the 5th of 5 high school broadcasts this weekend here on Z1570. And, of course, next weekend we'll be back at it as well. John Rogers and I will join you live next Friday evening at 7 o'clock right here from Public School Stadium as the Explorers host the Vandalia Vandals. Game 2 next Friday night. Triad at CM in Mississippi Valley Conference play. And then 3 high school broadcasts via tape delay on Saturday beginning at 2:30, Roxana at Litchfield. About 4:30, the Oilers at Southwestern. And about 6:30, Alton at Belleville East. So that's the lineup. 5 more games next weekend, along with the Illini game at 11 o'clock next Saturday morning as they host Northern Illinois. Last night in the South Central Conference, Greenville held off Carlinville 24-22. Pana defeated East Alton Wood River 47-6. Southwestern edged Litchfield 27-23. And Roxana got a win 32-14 over Vandalia. Now Holm back in punt formation, standing at his own 21 awaiting the snap. He gets the kick away, and it's a high end-over-end kick that the Hilltoppers let hit. It takes a Marquette roll all the way down to the Hillsboro 31, and the Hilltoppers will start there with 2:21 remaining in the half, and they trail it 6-0. Hillsboro has not given up many points in their first 2 ball games. Their defense has allowed only 25 points. The problem is they've scored only 24. But when you hold the opposition to an average of less than 2 touchdowns a game, you feel pretty good about your chances. But Hillsboro has had trouble getting the offense to click so far this season, and they haven't done much here tonight. They've moved the football, but they can't finish off. 1st and 10 from their own 31. And Downs back to throw. He sets, looking downfield, going deep down the left side, and that is incomplete. Actually, it was Dalton Holm for the Explorers who had the best chance at that football. And as he stepped in to try and make the reception at his own 40-yard line, the intended receiver, Luke Cerruti, nailed him. And Cerruti almost got there too soon, but as it turned out, his timing was just perfect. But Holm was about the only one that had a chance to make the catch. So now it's 2nd and 10 for the Hilltoppers from their own 31. And they better be careful or they might force themselves into a punting situation here and have to give it back to Marquette. The backs in the stacked eye. Downs takes the snap. Now pitches it back, and that eludes everybody. And finally, the pitchback is able to fall on it back at his own 16-yard line. And now Marquette might regret having used that last time out there before the punt. And I don't think they have any remaining. Now it's 3rd and about 25 for the Hilltoppers all the way back at their own 16-yard line. They lost 15 on that play. On the 3rd down play, Downs under center, takes the snap, drops to throw, rolling to his left. He is a southpaw. Now he finally lets it go. He might have been across the line of scrimmage, and that is picked off by the Explorers. And staying in bounds was Brad Emming. Well, that was a great catch. I didn't think there was any chance he was still in bounds. And so now the Explorers, after the turnover, will take over at the Hillsboro 38-yard line with 1:24 remaining. And that was a big mistake there by Downs. I think, actually, he thought maybe he was throwing it away. And how Emming was able to catch it and get a foot down, I don't know. We were shielded somewhat by the Explorers here on the near sideline. 1st and 10 Marquette at the 38 of Hillsboro. Receivers left and right. Moore in motion to the left side, and they run the counter, but Ford drops it, and now the Hilltoppers cover it at the 45-yard line. They tried to run the wing counter, and Michael Ford couldn't get the handle. And then instead of just falling on it, he tried to pick it up. and overran it, and 2 Hilltoppers were there to cover it up. That's Marquette's second turnover of the night. Both lost fumbles. And now the Hilltoppers 1st and 10 at their own 45 with 1:18 remaining. So Hillsboro dodges a bullet there thanks to the Marquette turnover. And now the running back is buried for a big loss. There's also a flag on the play.
It was Michael Cook who made the stop, and I think that somebody tried to hold him as he was coming through.
The quarterback now is Garrett Pinkley, number 10. And now the officials talk about the flag is lying back at the 39.
And Explorers have moved back. Maybe the penalty was against them.
Well, here comes the indication. A personal foul, face mask against the Explorers, so that will be a 15-yard walk-off. And then another personal foul, 2 personal fouls against the Explorers. And so that, I'm afraid, might be a 30-yard walk-off. We've still got 1:11 remaining in the first half. Or maybe Hillsboro's going to have to choose one of the two. There's only one flag, but the referee gave the indication of a personal foul face mask and then another personal foul indication.
Well, all depends when the personal foul came, whether it was a dead ball foul.
Yeah, they're going to walk off 30. So it's 2 15-yard penalties against the Explorers. And that's going to move the football all the way down to the Marquette 31-yard line. And with 1:11 remaining here in the half, Hillsboro's in business. Garrett Pinkley, the quarterback. He's under center, turns, and gives it to Cerruti, the tailback, and Cerruti stacked up after a gain of only a yard as he tried to work the right side. Well, this has not been the most well-played game. Lots of penalties against both teams, turnovers, and Marquette leads at 6-0. We're inside of 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. 2nd and 10, Pinkley rolls to his left, lets it go out to the left side. He finds his receiver at the 27, but there immediately to bring him down was Tyler Moore. And the gain on the play, as Luke Cerruti made the reception, is going to be about 5 yards and bring about 3rd and 5, but there's another flag on the play, and this time Hillsboro's walking backwards.
It was probably a hold, Sam.
Holding against the Hilltoppers. So from the spot of the foul, that'll be a 10-yard walk-off and move it all the way back to the Explorer 44-yard line and bring about 2nd and about 23 with 31 seconds remaining in the half. Well, this final few minutes of the first half has taken forever. We've had turnovers and penalties galore. Each team has committed a turnover in the final 2 minutes. And the penalties have been stacking up against both sides. Now they're going to put more time on the clock.
On the clock, 36 seconds.
They want to change the clock to 36 seconds. So Hillsboro, that's their 3rd major penalty. And it's 2nd and 24 Hilltoppers at the Marquette 44-yard line. Hillsboro sends a receiver wide to the right side. The backs and the stacked eye behind Garrett Pinkley. A man in motion to the left side. A pump fake to the right side. Now he lets it loose, and it's incomplete. It would have been intercepted. I think that was it was Michael Ford. And Ford had fallen down and was on his knees, and the football was coming right at him, and he was trying to get back up and catch the football all at the same time and couldn't do either. So now, 3rd and 23 for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 44-yard line. Down to 11 seconds remaining in the half. And Marquette has their safeties about 25 yards off the line of scrimmage. So they'll give up something underneath. They just don't want to get beat deep. Pinkley back to throw, feeling pressure. Now he steps up. Now he can run. At the 45, at the 40, and stripped from behind, loses the football, and Marquette comes up with it. Brad Emming, who intercepted just a couple of minutes ago, now comes up with a fumble recovery with 1 second remaining in the half, and Marquette will have time for a Hail Mary.
And Michael Cook was the defender who stripped the ball.
So that's the second turnover of the first half for Hillsboro. Marquette has turned it over twice. Marquette with 4 major penalties and Hillsboro with 3 major penalties in the first half. So not a thing of beauty, but a close and entertaining football game. Marquette leading 6-0. Let's see if the Explorers just take a knee. 1st and 10 from their own 31. Holmes sets the team, takes a snap, and takes a knee, and that's the end of the first half. So in the Explorers home opener at halftime, it's Marquette 6, Hillsboro 0. Back to recap the first half of play in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
All set for the second half kickoff here at Public School Stadium in Alton. Sam Stem alongside is John Rogers, and we've got the Rogers Theorem in evidence here tonight. Marquette leading 6-0, but Hillsboro will have the first possession, and as Coach John Rogers has told us over the years, sometimes the most important possession of the ball game, the first possession of the second half. And now the Explorer kick, and it will be returned by the Hilltoppers from their own 15 out across the 20 to the 30, up the right sideline across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And why is it that this first possession is can be the most important of the ball game?
Momentum.
Uncle Mo.
I was watching one of these early college football games, and they were talking about that. How momentum means so much.
There is a flag on this kickoff return. It's going to be another major penalty, a hold against Hillsboro, and that'll cost them field position here. Their 5th penalty of the night, their 4th major penalty. And so instead of starting out near their own 40, they're moved all the way back to about the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 Hilltoppers right there. So Hillsboro trailing 6-0 and having scored only 24 points total in their first 2 games and then being shut out in the first half here, trying to get some offense put together. Their quarterback Garrett Pinkley leads them to the line of scrimmage. They run from the double wing formation, and the turn and the give is to the fullback Cerruti, and he manages to plunge forward back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Michael Cook, the defensive end on the left side, was the player that came in to make the stop.
You would have to say so far tonight the most impressive part of the Explorers game has been their defense.
Yes.
Which has played well. 2nd down and nearly 10 for the Hilltoppers just outside their own 25. Pinkley under center, turns, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, finds some running room out to the left side, breaks a tackle out across the 30, to about the 34-yard line. A gain of 9 on that carry will bring about 3rd and 1. So Pinkley that time faked the handoff to the fullback and found a seam to the left side. So a big 3rd and 1 here. We've also got to play the field position game, and Marquette hasn't had great field position all night. On 3rd and 1, the stacked eye. Pinkley keeps it himself, tries to step forward, and he's brought down. He's got the first down, though. He crossed the 35, and that stick is right on the 35. So the nose of the football across the 35, that's going to be a first down. It is only the 6th of the night for Hillsboro. Pinkley needed a yard. He got a yard and an inch. 1st and 10, Hillsboro from their own 35-yard line. Early third quarter, Marquette leading 6-0. The Explorers looking for their first victory of the season. Hillsboro came in at 1-1. Now the give to the second man through from that stacked eye, and a good gainer out to about the 39-yard line. Luke Cerruti, the ball carrier that time, picks up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Cerruti, 11 carries for 25 yards. A beautiful evening for football. Heavy rains overnight, but most of the games last night unaffected as the rains came late, and beautiful evening this evening. 2nd down and 6. Here is the give. It's Cerruti. He's hit in the backfield, manages to surge forward and gains a yard, maybe 2. And it will be 3rd and 5 for the Hilltoppers, just outside their own 40-yard line.
Talking about the weather last night, they had a bunch of games north of Springfield that either got started or were ready to start yet when the lightning came through.
I think it started here in the Riverbend area about 11 last night, so that was well after all the local games were completed. Now 3rd and 5. Here's the give to Etling, or is that Cerruti, and he's got first down yardage out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. That was Scott Etling. He picks up 6 and another first down for the Hilltoppers. So nothing fancy here on this drive for Hillsboro. Just coming out and finding those gaps in the defense and hitting the holes. They're back out. They're back to that stacked I formation now after running occasionally from the double wing. Here is the give again. It's Scott Etling, and Etling is tripped up after a gain to the right side of about 3 yards out to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. And so for the first few plays of this possession, they featured Cerruti. Now they've featured Etling on a couple straight runs. Etling, a junior. Cerruti, a sophomore. And the quarterback, Pinkley, a junior. So they're young as well. 2nd and 7. And a quick pass out to the left side, a slant. He's got his man out to the 41 of the Explorers. Making the reception there was number 84, Dylan White. And they picked up on that play 9, good for another first down. White's first reception of the ballgame, only the second completion of the night for Garrett Pinkley. He's 2 for 5 with an interception. 1st and 10 at the Marquette 42. And here is the give this. There's a fumble, and the Explorers have covered it at the 42-yard line. A big hit as the ball carrier, Cerruti, coughed it up.
I think it was Michael Forward who was there to recover for the Explorers.
The second lost fumble of the night for Hillsboro, their 3rd turnover of the ball game. So just when it looked like they had a drive underway, another turnover, the 3rd turnover of the night. Marquette has turned it over twice. 1st and 10 Explorers from their own 43, and now the momentum shifts to the Explorer side. Let's see if they can do something with it. Receivers left and right, double wing formation. Ford in motion to the right side. And here is Halm working the right side after faking the handoff to the fullback Sterrett. And Halm crosses the 45, takes it out to nearly the 47-yard line. A gain of 3 on that carry for Dalton Halm. Halm 8 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 7, Marquette from their own 47-yard line. The clock rolling with 7:20 remaining in the third quarter. Marquette leading 6-0. Jack Miller splits wide to the right side. John Piper wide left. And now Marquette needs a timeout. It comes with 7:12 remaining third quarter. Marquette 6, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Sam Stem along with John Rogers back at Public School Stadium in Alton on this Saturday night. The Explorer home opener. Marquette leading 6-0. Approaching the midway mark of the third quarter following the Marquette timeout. 2nd and 7 from their own 47-yard line. Now they put 2 men in motion, and that'll cost them 5. But you don't expect to see that coming out of a timeout. And now the backs all talk about it.
I'll tell you a story from long ago on that, Sam. Back in my day, we ran the wishbone, and we would put the halfbacks in motion. So this one, I don't know who we were playing. They both went in motion at the same time, and both ran at each other, cracked their heads, laid them out.
Well, it almost happened there as Ford and Tyler Moore. Of course, they're a little further apart, being wingbacks as opposed to in the wishbone. I can see where that had happened. They both turn and boom.
Boom.
Did you find that humorous?
We did it though with the
later.
films. It wasn't at that time.
Not at the time. So now 3rd and 8 for the Explorers. And back to throw Dalton Halm, and he's going to run with it. And in the process of making the tackle, the defender threw him forward and threw him for a first down to the 47. I think it's going to be a first down. If not, it's very close.
It should be.
But he did. It was in the process of flinging him to the ground that the defender flung him forward. And now they may bring the sticks in and check for the measurement. So that was a gain of about 8 on that carry for Dalton Halm. And they will bring the sticks in from the far sideline to measure for the first down here. From where we sat, I thought it looked like a first down, but we're a long ways away. And of course, we're very seldom wrong, are we? And see, they could have just checked with us right there because it wasn't even close. So the first down of the second half for the Explorers, only their 7th of the ball game. The vast majority of those came on that first quarter 99-yard touchdown drive. So since then, Marquette has had trouble generating offense. Let's see if they can keep this drive going. 1st and 10 at the 47 of the Hilltoppers. A receiver to the right side, double wing formation. Ford in motion to the right side. They give it to the fullback Sterrett. He takes it inside the 44, down to about the 40, well, inside the 45 to the 44. And a gain of 3 on that carry for Derek Sterrett. 8 carries, 43 yards.
Do it again, Coach.
Second down, well, that was actually a gain of about 4 on that carry as they put the football down at the 43 of Hillsboro. 2nd and 6 for the Explorers. Receivers left and right, a man in motion to the left side, and they give it to Tyler Moore. Moore turns that left corner. Moore is going to be very close to a first down as he takes it inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. And they might need to measure again, I'm not sure. This time I'm not so sure he's got it. Moore, 5 carries for 53 yards. Maybe they need to call his number more often because almost every time, he's been able to turn that corner, and he shows a great burst once he does. And again, they'll measure. I think he's short this time. I notice you're not weighing in. Oh, it's a first down.
I knew it was going to be close.
So you let me be wrong, and you just stood on the sidelines.
Well, I did it through the years.
So they'll wind the clock with 5:56 remaining here in the third quarter. Marquette leading 6-0. Their 8th first down of the night. Their 2nd here in the second half. 1st and 10 at the 37 of Hillsboro. Moore in motion to the left side, and now Halm runs it to the right. He has good running room at the 35, at the 30, gets a block inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line for Dalton Halm. A gain of 19 on that carry and another first down for Marquette.
Who really helped him out was a sophomore wide receiver, number 10, Jack Miller. He did an exceptional job on that stalk block.
1st and 10 Marquette at the 17 of the Hilltoppers. And a touchdown on this possession would be huge as we're now down to 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Marquette leads it 6-0. Receivers left and right. Miller right, Piper left. Moore in motion to the left side, and the give is to the fullback Sterrett, and he drags tacklers with him all the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 7 on that carry for Derek Sterrett.
Do it again, Coach.
9 carries, 51 yards for Derek Sterrett, the fullback. Ford, the left wing. Moore, the right wing. Receivers left and right. 2nd and 4. And here is the give again to the fullback, Sterrett. It's going to be Holm. And Holm's in for the touchdown. He faked the handoff to Derek Sterrett, and Holm took it 11 yards for the touchdown, and the Explorers lead by 12. Well, Holm did a good job of faking that handoff, too, because I was convinced that Sterrett had the football, but Holm kept it himself and found plenty of running room out to the right side. Dalton Holm's 2nd touchdown carry of the night, and now the Explorers would attempt to tack 2 more on. So following the Hilltopper turnover, the Explorers converted into a touchdown drive. And now the 2-point conversion attempt. Receivers left and right. Halm bends under center. They put a man in motion to the right side. Halm keeps it himself. Now pitches back to Ford, who dances into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And a dandy pitch there by Dalton Halm. He drew the defenders to himself and then pitched it out to Ford, who just had to tiptoe into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good with 4:53 remaining in the third quarter. The score now, Marquette 14, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sam Stem along with John Rogers back at Public School Stadium in Alton. Coach on that 2-point conversion by the Explorers. That's the way that option's supposed to work. Holm took it out to the right side, drew the defenders to himself, and just before they hit him, he pitched it to Ford, and there was nobody to tackle him.
Back in the old days, before kicking became a style at Marquette, that's what we always did, was just run that option on for the extra points, for the 2-point conversions.
Marquette has had some kickers over the years.
Yes, they have. It looked like they're absent this year, though.
Apparently so. Although to kick it off, Nick Schrank, he's a sophomore.
And listed as a kicker.
And he boots this one high, but not terribly deep. It'll be returned from the 18, out across the 25 to the 30 to the 35, and a flag is thrown. That flag was thrown from long distance. And it could be yet another major penalty against Hillsboro. We've had some major penalties here tonight. 4 against the Explorers, and prior to this one, 4 more against Hillsboro. This may be their 5th. You know, sometimes you can overcome those. Yeah, you can overcome those 5-yard penalties, but the 10 and 15-yarders make it tough. 6 penalties for 55 yards tonight against Hillsboro, so that hasn't helped their cause. And they will start 1st and 10 from their own 25. As we're down to 4:45 remaining here in the third quarter, Marquette now leading at 14-0. Marquette's biggest lead of the season. They've led briefly in Carlinville. Never led last week at Pana, but lead at 14-0 here late in the third quarter. Pinkley runs the option to the left side for the Hilltoppers, turns it upfield and is dragged down from behind as Tyler Moore tracked him down after about a 4-yard gain for Garrett Pinkley.
Well, I tell you what, who made that was the corner that came up. That's number 4, Michael Ford, and forced them to go to the outside and allowed the tacklers from the inside to catch up and make the play.
2nd down and 6, Hilltoppers from their own 29-yard line. They send a receiver wide to the right side, a wing to the right, backs in the I formation. Pinkley, long count, takes a snap, turns, fakes the pitch. Now he's going to throw, and he is hammered to the turf. On the sack for the Explorers, A.J. Lipka.
6 foot, 250. How would you like to have that fall on you?
No, I wouldn't. And Pinkley was slow in getting up. And now the Hilltoppers are going to call a timeout. Lipka just burst through and was not thrown off by the fake pitch. And as Pinkley went to sit up to throw, Lipka got him from his blind side. That made it even worse and just buried him to the turf. A classic sack there. So 3:48 remaining here in the third quarter. It's Marquette 14, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Now it's 3rd and 10, Hillsboro from their own 25-yard line. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Pinkley airs it out deep down the right side, and that's incomplete. And he threw into nearly triple coverage out there. There were 3 defenders surrounding the intended receiver out near the 45-yard line. And it brings about a punting situation for the Hilltoppers, and I think this will be the first time all night they've punted.
I was going to say, there hasn't been many punts tonight.
No, Marquette, I think, has punted twice. Well, when you have this many turnovers. And so back deep to return for the Explorers is Dalton Holmes, standing back at his own 42-yard line, awaiting this punt on 4th and 10. The snap is dribbled back to the punter, and it's going to be Tyler Moore returning. Well, he tried to return, but finally covered the football as he had trouble getting a handle on it. Moore was the up man. He fielded the football at the 45, and it's a shame he didn't catch it cleanly because he was on full speed.
And was wide open.
And was going to just streak down the right sideline, I think, for a touchdown. But when he had trouble getting a handle on the football, he did the smart thing and just covered it. So the Explorer offense back out onto the field. 1st and 10 at the 45 of the Hilltoppers. Marquette with blue jerseys, white pants, and the silver helmets. Receivers left and right. Piper wide left, Miller wide right, double wing formation. Holm puts a man in motion to the right side and runs the option to the right side, kept it himself and gained only a yard. That'll be 2nd and 9. Dalton Holm now 12 carries for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Moore has carried 5 times for 53 yards. Derek Sterrett, 9 carries for 51 yards. And Michael Ford has carried only twice for 7 yards. Ford, the left wing back. Tyler Moore, the right wing back. Receivers left and right on 2nd and 9. Here's the pitch back to Moore. Moore trying to turn that corner. Turns it outside and is run out of bounds near the 40-yard line after a gain of about 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 5. And Hillsboro did a good job of stringing that out. And Moore finally just ran out of room, but he did pick up 4. A couple times he dipped that shoulder like he was going to try to burst through an opening, and they just weren't there. Finally tried to turn that left corner.
Well, he's only a sophomore anyway, isn't he?
I believe so. No, he's a junior.
Oh, he's a sophomore. Michael Ford.
Now 3rd down. And here's a pitch back to Ford, and he picks it up and is buried all the way back inside his own 40-yard line, but they're going to give him forward progress to the 43, but it still turns into a huge loss. A loss of 17 yards on that play, and I don't think it was all Ford's fault. In fact, I don't think any of it was his fault. It was Dalton Holmes' fault.
He bowled so much back from that line, and it just gave people so much time to come up.
So Ford,
if you're the quarterback, you need to run right at that defensive end, force the issue.
Now Holm gets the kick away, punting on 4th down, and he shanks it. And it sails, it lands on the track. And so they're going to mark it out at the 43, and that's where the Hilltoppers will take over 1st and 10. So the Explorer offense kind of self-destructed there after starting with good field position. And Hillsboro, which has had a hard time putting much offense together tonight, back out onto the field. 1st and 10 from their own 43. We're down to 2:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marquette leading 14-0, looking for their first victory of the season. And here is the give to Cerruti. Luke Cerruti. Now a flag is thrown. Well, sometimes you wonder, are there really this many penalties, or are they just flag happy? But either way, I wish they'd stop.
The only thing I could figure out, these officials told them that this will be a late game, so don't wait up for me, dear. We're going to the boat.
So it was a 5-yard pickup for Cerruti, but the flag is lying at the 45. They'll walk off 10 from there, and it'll be first and about 18 for the Hilltoppers from their own 35-yard line. Another major penalty. Hillsboro, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holding calls. They had a measly offside, too. Oh, now they're going to stop the play before it ever starts. And let's see what that's all about. Marquette needed a timeout. I guess they didn't have the right.
They were missing a defensive tackle.
They were missing something, so they called a timeout. So they've only got one left. We've got 1:41 remaining in the third quarter. It's Marquette 14, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
To-do list rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
Following the Marquette timeout, it's first and 18 for the Hilltoppers from their own 35-yard line. From the stacked eye, the give to the tailback, Etling, and Etling picks up a couple before he's hit and brought down, pounded to the turf. A host of Marquette tacklers that time, among them Derek Sterrett. Etling gains 2. Second down and 16, Hillsboro from their own 37-yard line. Marquette next week will host Vandalia. There will be a host of teams in the South Central if Marquette holds on and wins this at 1 and 2. Among them, the Explorers and the Hilltoppers. Now a quick slant out to the right side, and it was very nearly intercepted by John Piper. And if he had held on to it, he was going to be gone for a touchdown. Not sure why he didn't catch it, because it hit him right in a breadbasket.
He was looking toward the goal line, Sam. That's what it looked like from here.
If Marquette wins, Marquette, Hillsboro, Roxana, Vandalia, and Litchfield will all be 1 and 2 in the South Central Conference. Pana and Greenville are 3 and 0, and Carlinville and Southwestern are 2 and 1. Third and 16, Hillsboro. Pinkley rolling to his left, being pursued, hit as he lets it go, and it falls.
The line of scrimmage.
Falls incomplete. He was over the line of scrimmage by about 5 yards, and there is a flag.
That's loss of down.
That is loss of down, so they'll mark it off, and it'll still be 4th down. So that'll be a big boost to Marquette in terms of field position. Down to 41 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Well, I'll tell you what, we're glad Marquette's up 14-0, but it's hard to watch a game where you've got this many penalties. It just slows everything to a crawl. then add in 5 turnovers. So an illegal forward pass. They'll walk off the yardage from the spot of the foul. It's a loss of down, and it's going to be 4th and forever for Hillsboro. And for only the second time tonight, they'll go into punt formation. Now, the last time, the center dribbled the ball back to the punter, who got off a short kick that the up man, Tyler Moore, had trouble handling. Otherwise, he might have been gone. So let's see what happens this time. The line of scrimmage, the 35 of the Hilltoppers. Low snap. He gets the kick away. It's a short kick, and the Explorers let it hit, and it just dies at the 46 of the Explorers, and Marquette will take over right there with 28 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Well, Marquette can assure themselves a victory in this one if they can put together a drive right here. They're leading 14-0.
Well, I tell you, if Hillsboro could prove to us that they can throw the ball effectively, this could be a ball game. But they haven't done it so far.
Marquette scored 7 at Carlinville in week 1, scored 8 last week at Pena, and only 14 here tonight. So their offense has not been a juggernaut. Now here's the give to the fullback Sterrett, and he pounds his way forward for a gain of about 2. And that's going to be the final play of the third quarter as the final 10 seconds tick off. After 3 quarters of play here at the Explorers home opener at Public School Stadium in Alton on this Saturday night, it's Marquette 14, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
At Olin Community Credit Union, they offer more than savings accounts, checking accounts, money markets, loans, and IRAs. They also offer a Visa Platinum card which rewards their members with low rates, no annual fees, no hidden fees, no balance transfer fees, built-in safety features to protect your card from fraud, and a rewards program which rewards you for every purchase you make. Apply today for an Olin Community Credit Union Visa Platinum card at www.olincreditunion.org.
Why is Roberts Motors #1 in Ford certified pre-owned sales in the St. Louis Metro East?
Visit the 169-point inspection all our vehicles go through.
Maybe it's because we've been doing it for over 60 years.
Or is it the large selection we keep in stock at all times?
Personally, I think the answer is all the above. Stop in today and see. Nobody does pre-owned better than Roberts Motors.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years in Alton, Illinois, or on the web at rivalries.com.
As we start the fourth quarter, Marquette faces 2nd and 9. From their own 47-yard line, the Explorers leading 14-0. Marquette back home again next Friday night hosting Vandalia. Moore in motion to the left side, and now Holm tries to sprint out to the right side, and he is brought down, thrown down for a 5-yard loss. As they tried a little misdirection there, faked a handoff on an inside slant, and then I don't know if Holm was going to run there or try and throw the football.
No, I think he was going to run. I think it was a naked bootleg and atrocious.
So he lost 6 on that carry. And now it's 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 for the Explorers from their own 41. They put Ford in motion to the right side and run the wing counter with Moore trying to turn that left corner, and he's got nowhere to go. He gains a yard before he's thrown out of bounds. And Marquette will be forced to punt once again. This will be their 3rd punt of the night. Well, that's not what I had in mind. As the defense held and forced Hillsboro to punt, Marquette goes 3 and out. And you just can't put your defense on the field as long as Marquette's has been on the field here tonight. Except for that 99-yard touchdown drive in the first quarter, Marquette's offense has been very inconsistent. Holm gets the kick away under heavy pressure, and it's going to be returned by Etling Down the left sideline he goes, and he might go all the way. Halm is the last man to beat, and Halm finally hog ties him at the Explorer 20-yard line. And a dandy punt return there. I believe it was Scott Etling. It was actually Luke Cerruti on the return, and he took it from about his own 30 all the way down to the Marquette 21, and only the punter, Dalton Halm, saved the touchdown. And so with 10:53 remaining here, here's an opportunity for Hillsboro to get right back into this football game. They currently trail by 14, but they have it 1st and 10 at the Marquette 21. Garrett Pinkley sets the team, double wing formation. Pinkley, long count, takes the snap, turns, gives it to his fullback. That's Cerruti. And Cerruti is stacked up for just a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. Cerruti has been the workhorse, 13 carries for 28 yards. 2nd down and 8, Hillsboro at the Marquette 19-yard line. The clock rolling with 10:25 remaining. A receiver wide to the right side, a wing to the right, backs in the eye. Garrett Pinkley fumbles the snap, a pile up. The Explorers say they have it. If so, it would be Hillsboro's 4th turnover of the night. It is. Their 3rd lost fumble and their 4th turnover total. And the Explorer defense saves the day once again. Well, maybe that's why Hillsboro's only averaging 12 points a game, and why they've been shut out here tonight. You can't have that many turnovers.
No.
And that was just a case where the quarterback didn't get the snap from the center.
Now, the Explorers have got to play it smart. They just need to pound them. You get a 225-pound fullback. I would.
Make him stop the fullback and then work off of that. On the 1st down play, the give is to Derek Sterrett, the fullback. He tries to bounce it outside, drags tacklers with him for a few yards, and
he heard me.
He gained nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10. Derek Sterrett, 11 carries for 53 yards. 2nd and 10, Explorers from their own 18-yard line, following the 4th turnover of the night for Hillsboro. Marquette's turned it over 3 times. Or is it just 2? Just 2 for Marquette. 6 in the game, 4 for Hillsboro, 2 for Marquette. 2nd and 10. Dalton Halm under center takes the snap. He drops to throw, and it's incomplete. His intended receiver was Tyler Moore down the middle, and he was closely covered. And Halm just sailed it over his head, and that stops the clock with 9:21 remaining. I don't think you liked that call, did you?
Not at all.
3rd and 10 for the Explorers from their own 18-yard line. Marquette with a seemingly comfortable 14-point lead, but you'd like to see him run some time off the clock. Now Halm pitches it back, and here's Tyler Moore, and Moore is buried out of bounds. That'll stop the clock again out at the 22-yard line after a gain of 4. And Marquette once again will be forced to punt with 9:14 remaining here in the 4th quarter. So Dalton Halm standing back at his own 8-yard line, and look out, I think here comes Hillsboro.
Well, they've been awfully close in the past.
A couple of times, and now they've got 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. And I think they're coming. Heavy pressure, and Halm gets it away. And they will let it hit out near midfield. It takes a Marquette bounce across midfield and rolls dead at the 47 of the Hilltoppers, and they'll start 1st and 10 right there. Now, wait a minute. There is a flag. Imagine that. The flag is behind the line of scrimmage. I didn't see anybody hit home. Illegal procedure against Marquette. Well, if you're Hillsboro, you make them kick it again because you might be able to block it. Despite the fact they've got good field position at the Marquette 48, and they will make Marquette kick it again. 6 penalties on the night against Marquette, 7 against Hillsboro. So 13 penalties in this ball game and 6 turnovers have made this game move at a very, very slow pace. 9:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marquette with a 14-0 lead. Touchdowns in the first and third quarters for the Explorers. Now Holmes standing back at his own 4-yard line awaiting this snap. And again, Hillsboro will come after him. A good snap, and he just gets the kick away, and it's a high short kick. And it will hit and roll out of bounds at the Marquette 37-yard line. And Hillsboro will start with great field position. And again, I'll say I don't think this game's over yet. If Hillsboro can find a way to convert right here, they would be right back in it. Marquette leading at 14-0. But the Marquette offense unable to run any time off the clock. Here on each of their last 2 possessions, they've gone 3 and out. The stacked eye behind Garrett Pinkley. He turns, gives it to the second man through. That's Cerruti. Lots of running room, and Cerruti pounds his way down to the 31-yard line. Gain of 6 on that carry for Luke Cerruti. Cerruti, 14 carries for 34 yards. 2nd and 4, Hilltoppers at the Marquette 31-yard line. Down to 8.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. A receiver to the right side. That's the short side of the field. Double wing formation this time. Pinkley takes the snap. Rolls to his left. Under pressure. Eludes one tackler. Eludes another. Now he lets it go downfield, and it is broken up. He had a receiver on the far sideline down near the 10-yard line, but there were 2 Marquette defenders there as well. And Brad Emming was able to bat the ball out of bounds. And now it's 3rd and 4 for Hillsboro at the Marquette 31-yard line. Pinkley only 2 of 9 for 53 yards. He's thrown an interception. And now Hillsboro needs to find a way to pick up the first down here and keep the chains moving, facing 3rd and 4 at the Marquette 31. Stacked eye with a receiver wide to the left side. The tight end is to the right side. They put a man in motion to the left, and now Pinkley will run to the left. Pinkley tripped up and brought down Shy. A knifing tackle there. Bob Bloomberg for the Explorers. Knifed in there. Bloomberg 6'1", 200 pounds. He's one of the 2 seniors on this squad. And he tripped up Pinkley after a 3-yard gain. It's 4th and 1 for the Hilltoppers at the Marquette 28-yard line. Down to 7.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. A receiver wide to the right side. Stacked eye behind Garrett Pinkley. Long count. Trying to draw Marquette off. And finally, he takes a snap and gives it to Cerruti, the second man through. Cerruti has the first down and then some inside the 25, down to about the 23-yard line. So a gain of 6 on that carry, gain of 5 for Cerruti. Cerruti 15 carries for 39 yards. The 9th first down of the night for Hillsboro. And now the first downs are even at 9 apiece. 1st and 10, Hillsboro at the Marquette 23-yard line with 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Stacked eye and back to throw. Pinkley looking into the end zone, and that is intercepted, picked off at the goal line by Dalton Holm, and Holm up the left sideline trying to turn that left corner at the 20-yard line, and he's brought down at the 21. So the 5th turnover of the night by the Hilltoppers kills that drive. And now the Explorer offense needs to find a way to run the final 6:45 off the clock. Well, you're not going to have much chance of winning when you turn the ball over 5 times, and Hillsboro's done that.
No, you're not.
And Marquette's +3 in the turnover department. They've turned it over twice themselves. But that interception by Holm, the second interception of the night. Emming had one in the first half. And Hillsboro has fumbled, lost 3 fumbles. 1st and 10 Explorers at the 21. Here's the give on a counter to the fullback, Derek Sterrett. And Sterrett gains a couple out to the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8. Sterrett 12 carries, 55 yards. 2nd and nearly 8 for the Explorers, just shy of the 24-yard line. The clock rolling with 6:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marquette leading 14-0. Trying to win for the first time this season here in their home opener. They're back home again next Friday night. Hosting Vandalia. We'll have it live for you here on the Big Z. Now Holm.
What is in the world?
Well, Holm took the snap and took about a 2-step drop. Acted like he was going to fake a throw and then wanted to run with it. And by that time, it was too late as the defense had collapsed on him and he lost 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 11. And I think at this point, you and I would agree, you don't need to try and fool the defense. You need to just play good hard-nosed football and run some time off that clock. Down to 5:20 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 11 for the Explorers. They've gone 3 and out on each of their last 2 possessions and are in danger of doing that right here. Here is the give on a wing counter to Michael Ford. Ford breaks a couple of tackles. Ford has first down yardage as he drags a tackler across the 30-yard line to the 31. A gain of 12 for Michael Ford and a first down for the Explorers. Ford listed at 5'8", 140, a sophomore. And that 5'8", 140, that 140 I'm sure is soaking wet. But he was hit at about the 29-yard line and dragged the tackler across the 30 to the 31.
Well, that was one of the most impressive. He knew what to do.
1st and 10 Explorers from the 31, and here is the give to Tyler Moore. And Moore is spun down at the line of scrimmage as, again, they tried to run a wing counter. And that time Hillsboro was not fooled. And, in fact, Moore lost a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 at the 31. Moore 9 carries for 61 yards. Second and 11 from the 31. The clock rolling with 4:12 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Marquette with a 14-0 lead. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Holm keeps it himself, looking for running room to the right side. Finds none, now just turns it straight upfield and picks up about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, the only thing that play does for him, it keeps the clock running, as far as I can see.
Down to 3.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Well, the Explorers came in this week knowing they needed to win 5 of their remaining 7 games to have a chance at the playoffs. And it appears they'll get one here tonight. Now here is the give to Tyler Moore on a wing counter, and he's stacked up for a loss of a yard. And now they stop the clock, and I think Hillsboro wants a timeout, as Marquette will once again be forced into a punting situation. 3:11 remaining in the fourth quarter. The score, Marquette 14, Hillsboro nothing. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle. and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
You don't know Jack Smith!
In Wood River, Illinois.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Well, the Marquette punting team has seen a lot of action here tonight, especially here in the second half. Marquette leading at 14-0, but the offense has really struggled. And now a short wobbly kick that the Hilltoppers let hit. It takes a Marquette bounce inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. And you'd have to believe, Coach Rogers, that if it weren't for the 5 Hillsboro turnovers here tonight, Marquette may not be sitting here quite as comfortably as they are now, up 14-0.
No, those defensive plays just took Hillsboro right out of the game. They couldn't gather any momentum.
First and 10 Hilltoppers from their own 38. 3:01 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Marquette leading 14-0. Pinkley rolling to his left. He's going to keep it, and he's run out of bounds out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, a gain of 8 on that carry. Derek Sterrett in on the tackle. They'll give Pinkley 7 on that carry. He's carried 13 times for 54 yards and passed for another 53. But he's also thrown 2 interceptions, and his team's lost 3 fumbles. 2nd and 3 Hilltoppers at their own 45. Here's the give to the fullback, Luke Cerruti. And Cerruti stacked up near the first down marker. A gain of 3 on that carry. Actually, it was Etling that time on the carry. Etling 9 carries for 22 yards. Just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches for the Hilltoppers at their own 48-yard line. Pinkley under center, double wing formation. A receiver to the right side. On the 3rd down play, the give is to the fullback. That's Etling once again. He's easily got the first down as he picks up 5. Cerruti that time on the carry. Cerruti 16 carries for 44 yards. They stopped the clock with 2:33 remaining to move the sticks. Hillsboro has more first downs tonight. Well, actually, each team has 10 first downs in this ball game. 6 of those for Marquette came on that 99-yard touchdown drive in the first quarter. Since then, the Marquette offense has really sputtered. Now a flag is thrown as Pinkley is pounded out of bounds at the 41-yard line, but we'll have a hold against Hillsboro deep in their own backfield, and the penalty will move them all the way back to their own 37-yard line. So yet another penalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major penalties tonight against Hillsboro. It hasn't been a whole lot better for Marquette. They've had 6 penalties total, and 4 of them have been major penalties. So between all the penalties and all the turnovers, it's not been a work of art.
No, it hasn't.
And Coach Slaughter would tell you, going back to week 1, Marquette and Carlinville, that was a very well played game. So 1st and about 26 for Hillsboro from their own 37-yard line with 2:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Pinkley back to throw, sets up a screen out to the left side, completes it, and one man that they had to block, they didn't, and he makes the tackle. That's Brett Greenwell. He had 2 guys who tried to put a block on him, and he split the 2 blockers and made the tackle for no gain on the play. So a nice play by Greenwell, and a lousy job of blocking by Hillsboro. Second down and 26. Pinkley rolling to his left, sets up, now under pressure, and he is brought down for a loss of a yard as he tried to take off and run with it. And the first one there to hit him was Bob Bloomberg. And now a timeout on the field by Hillsboro as they face 3rd and 27 with 1:32 remaining. Be sure and stay tuned because as soon as we wrap things up here, as soon as the final horn sounds, we'll name the Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. Obviously, it will be an Explorer, but Dalton Holm has rushed for 69 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, and pulled down an interception, so he'd be a strong contender. He's also punted about 7 times. And actually, if you want to talk about punting, he's done a good job because he's been under a lot of pressure, and he's managed to get the kicks away quickly. You hate to name a guy player of the game, though, because he's been a good punter. So thankfully, he's also scored 2 touchdowns and pulled down an interception. Now 3rd down, 3rd and 27 Hilltoppers from their own 37-yard line. Trips to the left side, and Pinkley rolls to his left. Under pressure, sets and lets it go downfield, throws it up for grabs, and it's brought down by one of the, there were 2 receivers there, and one of them makes the catch at the Marquette 29-yard line. That one good for 34 yards and a first down. Well, that was just a prayer, and it was answered.
I was going to say, it was a Hail Mary.
Well, that's why you shouldn't be afraid to pray. Every once in a while, one of them's answered, and that one was. 1st and 10 Hillsboro. They now have 11 first downs in the ballgame to just 10 for Marquette, but Marquette leads at 14-0. Pinkley back to throw, tries to hit a man on the left flat at the sideline and overthrows him incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 1:04 remaining. Next Friday night, Marquette right back here at home, hosting the Vandalia Vandals. Vandalia comes in at 1-2. They were beaten by Roxana last night. Roxana with a big win, 32-14 at home. So congratulations to Coach Pat Keith and the Shells. Now back to throw Pinkley. Now he's going to run with it and track down from behind.
Jack Miller.
Jack Miller got him from behind, and then he was met in the front by Brad Emming, and now Miller's slow in getting up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 10 teams in the SEC will be 1-2. Pena and Greenville lead the way at 3-0. Carlinville and Southwestern are 2-1, and then 5 teams at 1-2. Now, here is Pinkley trying to take off with it. Down the right sideline he goes, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 5-yard line as he got away there for a 16-yard gain and another first down, and stops the clock with 31 seconds remaining. 74 yards rushing now by Garrett Pinkley on 15 carries. 1st and goal Hilltoppers at the Marquette 5. Well, Hillsboro recovered a Marquette fumble on the very first play of the ball game at the Explorer 35. Put together a drive and took it down and had 1st and goal at the 4, 2nd and goal at the 1, 3rd and goal at the 3, and on the 4th and goal play, they were stacked up at the goal line, and then Marquette went on a 99-yard touchdown drive. And so now the Hilltoppers have it 1st and goal at the Explorer 5, and Marquette takes a timeout. 1st and goal Hilltoppers at the Marquette 5-yard line. Marquette leading it 14-0. A man in motion to the left side, and Pinkley rolls to his left, pitches it back to Cerruti. Cerruti cuts it up at the 5, spins off a tackler at the 3, and takes it down to the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal right there. The clock rolling with 16 seconds remaining.
And neither team has any timeouts.
The Hilltoppers now huddling. They may not get a playoff. It's down to 7, 6, 5. They rush to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal at the 1. They just get it off. They fumble the snap. And the clock expires, and Marquette wins it. 14-0. I'm not sure who recovered the fumble, but it really doesn't matter. So the Hilltoppers never do get in. And the final score, the Explorers 14, the Hilltoppers nothing. Back to wrap it up in just a moment. You're listening to Z1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the River Bend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the River Bend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, by American.